We can't sleep.
The thing vibrated.
Yeah, the thing vibrated. That was a phone. The thing was a phone.
Oh, just for clarification.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can't sleep. I can't sleep. My roommate can't sleep. So here we are, Glenn and Matt, sitting on the couch, insomnified. Which is
Insomnified.
totally a word now.
Sounds like a word to me.
So what sort of things keep you up at night generally?
Just the typical. Too much technology.
Yeah.
Not enough not technology. As you check your technology.
I was seeing what time it was.
And we're recording this with technology.
Yeah. Tech wreck. Tech is all around us.
That's true.
I don't know, yeah. Like, on the rare occasion I forget my phone in another room and go to bed, I sleep like a baby. And I don't even realize I've forgotten my phone. It's like the presence of it reminds me that it's there, and then I'm constantly checking it. I'm like, oh, I can go to sleep. I wonder if so-and-so has replied, or if, oh, I wonder what's going on Twitter.
What's going on in the Ukraine?
Right? Yeah, what's going on in the world? Like, during the previous presidential administration, it was bad. I was constantly doom scrolling. I'm like, have we blown up yet?
Yeah.
It's been 15 minutes. What has that maniac done on Twitter?
Yeah, I deleted my Facebook during that time.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
No, yeah, for me it's just if I go to sleep, then tomorrow comes.
Yes! That's me too. Once I close my eyes, the next time you open it, it's time to go to work.
Yeah, not fun.
No. But then if you don't close your eyes, then work is not fun. Because it's so...
Work is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Accept it. Go to sleep.
I can't do it. There's just so many things I could just sit up and think about. Like, that keeps me up too. Aside from technology, I just like thinking. Like, just turning an idea over in my head and looking at it from every angle. And like when I'm lying in bed with nothing else to do, it's the best time to do that.
Yeah, honestly, if I were to remake this this video and retitle it, like if I were to make my own series, it wouldn't be called I Can't Sleep, it would be I Won't Sleep.
You should do it.
Yeah.
We should compete.
Yeah.
You can even use the same couch.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, I can sleep anytime I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Besides when I'm working or driving, those are typically times where I won't go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I just refuse. It's like my protest to society. You want me to start tomorrow? Well, no thank you. I'm going to stay up late Googling everything that comes to mind and becoming a pseudo-expert in those things.
Excellent.
Those useless tidbits of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, those are the best.
And then I'll suddenly jump up and, like, learn, Say It Ain't So from Weezer. Just because I was like, oh, I've never learned that before. Let me do that.
Yeah, I get productive at night too, and really creative. Like, that's when my mental juices get flowing, is when the sun goes down. I'm nocturnal by nature, I think.
Yeah, I think I just become manic. And so, like, I just start doing so many productive things at once, which isn't even productive because I end up just dropping it for another thing because I thought of it, and now it's time to go do the other productive thing while no production is actually taking place.
Right. I similarly bounce around at night.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, oh, I'm going to bed now. Then, but now that my writing desk is in my room, it's like, but first.
But first, yeah.
And then it's like 3 a.m, Or it's like, it's midnight, and I'm like, okay, that's my hard cutoff, gotta go to bed. Then it's 1. I'm like, alright, I gotta go to bed. But first,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if I go to bed at 2, get up at 6, I'll still get a 3-hour full sleep cycle. Then it's 2. And I'm like, that's what happens to me.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the same because I don't start work till 10, but I work from home. So I'm like, well, I can just roll out of bed and start work. So I don't really need to go to sleep till 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the birds are chirping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have made a mistake.
That happened to me 2 nights ago. Do you hear that freaking rooster in the morning?
Is there a rooster?
There is a rooster.
I don't hear the rooster.
And when I hear the rooster, I'm like, oh, I done messed up.
Yeah.
The rooster's crowing. It's too late now. There was one day this week I went to work with 0 sleep.
That's never fun. I've done
No.
that.
But, and Nick Aston, who's now a coworker, was telling me that day, he's like, because I think I'd stayed up till like 2 just talking to you about something, and then I went to bed intentionally, didn't quite make it right straight to bed. And he was like, why did you stay up till 2? I'm like, I don't know. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm going to have a talk with that roommate of yours.
I'm a bad influence.
But no, that's what, like, you and I weren't the only people who were wondering if we would ever sleep again once you moved in.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah. We retreat to our rooms. Whatever you do in there,
Mm-hmm.
past once I leave, that's up to you, man.
Yeah.
Not my responsibility anymore.
Right.
Or not my,
Yeah, you're not
I'm not the cause,
involved in,
yeah.
in my reasons for not sleeping.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because I just like to think. And like I'll get on YouTube. Like I have 3 YouTube videos up now on different tabs. And I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. That's interesting. Oh, the first religion. I want to watch that.
How would they know? I guess
Right.
watch to find out.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Babylonian myths, Mesopotamian. That's fascinating to me. It's the oldest known religion, at least.
Right.
There's probably older gods.
Aliens.
Extraterrestrials.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah. That's where we went the last time. And
I'm
you
pretty
were
sure that was where it went.
insomnified on my couch in one of these videos.
Hey, that takes up a lot of my cranial capacity.
Aliens.
Aliens.
According to Ancient Aliens, everything was done by aliens. That show is so stupid.
I love that show.
It's like, oh man, just driven the whole idea into the ground.
Yeah.
Like, Coca-Cola. Could it have been aliens?
When did brushing your teeth become a practice? Aliens? Well, we're here to find out.
Then the guy with the tall hair who's become a living meme. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
It was aliens, yeah.
And what is it like they say on that show all the time? Like the voiceover guy.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've watched
Yeah,
it.
same. But it's
I
something.
love that voiceover guy.
Yeah,
You
but it's something where he's just so
over-dramatize.
certain it's aliens. Like,
It's beyond a doubt, or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, pretty much something like that. That show.
My dad's always trying to get me to read that that Admiral's diary or something. That's like talking about how the Earth is hollow.
Oh.
Admiral Byrd or something.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that.
Yeah, he apparently flew over the North Pole or Antarctica, the North Pole or South Pole, and claims to have flown over like a crater that leads to the center of the Earth.
Right.
and had claims to have like flown into it, like went straight down into it because he could see that it was hollow and that the extraterrestrials are living beneath the surface and
yeah, big conspiracy theory. I don't know. Like I would read that book just to see what I thought of it. But the scientists disagree. But
hey, I'm not
open
a scientist.
to possibilities.
I don't trust those scientists. I don't know them. They could be lying.
I mean, anybody could be lying.
Well, it's like
Admiral Byrd could be lying.
He could be.
And
but I am open to possibility, like you said. And I also like the idea
anything.
that like nothing exists beyond my comprehension, beyond my no existence is real beyond my immediate like view. Like whenever like we stop hanging out, Glenn no longer exists. Like like it's an interesting.
I'm stored in the memory of the computer that you live in.
Exactly. Something along those lines. Yeah. So like those scientists, I don't know them personally. So how can I trust them?
Right? How can you trust anything? We don't even really understand reality.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, again to Nick Aston, I was telling him that when I'm super sleep deprived, I wonder if people exist or how many people I'm hallucinating and if I'm crazy. And like you in particular, I was wondering at that moment, I'm like, does Matt exist?
I'm still trying to figure that out, man.
Like we have like all these crazy things in common. We're so well suited as friends. It's almost like I made you up. It's like if I'm talking to myself and if I'm talking to you, we're likely on the similar topics.
Yeah, maybe we're different apparitions in different timelines.
Maybe.
Like you don't actually exist in my reality. I just, moved into an empty house.
Yeah.
With my imaginary friend.
Right. Right.
And you did the same. And you just had an imaginary roommate move in.
What if we're both imaginary? Weird. This is starting to sound like the novel I'm working on.
It's Fight Club.
Or there's a third person we can't see who's the real one. Who's imagining both of us. I like it.
Sounds like a good premise.
It does. Dang it.
It almost sounds like a circadian.
Circadian.
The concept we came up with.
On Autodidactica. Yeah, I almost texted you that day that I went to work with no sleep. I was like, Circadian is not pleased with me right now. Hopefully that will have gone up before this goes up. I think it will.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, Circadian.
Yeah. He's a knight we made up on our podcast. We have a podcast.
The night of sleep deprivation has visited us this night.
Try to make us go to bed. Dang it. Oh well.
Yeah, I had to wash my hair.
Foiled again.
So that takes an hour.
Yeah. That one got me last night. I had to wash my hair.
It's a whole event, man.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta I gotta psych myself up for
hair.
it. Yeah.
Oh, we could fight.
No, we're not sword fighting. I haven't done that since I was 6.
Well, why aren't you still doing it?
Yeah, because
Scared?
Yeah, kind of.
Scared you're gonna lose?
I don't want to get pee on me.
Pee? Not that kind of sword fight.
Oh. Okay.
What did you think this was?
No, I don't know.
Get your glasses fit. What is that? It's like Avatar.
Yeah.
The blue people version.
So like connect to my horse with.
And have sex.
Yeah.
That's still the most disturbing part of that movie to me. It's like the things they plug into their steeds, they also plug into their lovers.
Hey man. Different strokes.
I
Blue
guess.
folks.
It's just like if that's how we rode horses.
That's how some people do ride horses.
I think you're right. Like, riding a horse has a whole different meaning for some folks. Or a sheep, or a goat,
And they're
or a
all
pig.
going to burn in figurative hell,
Figurative.
where the horse fucks them. I don't know if I can
But
say
that might not be hell for them. They might like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might.
Yeah, they may discover something about themselves.
Right? Like, how sad would it be to discover something about yourself in hell?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with it?
This has been an enlightening experience. Is this heaven?
Maybe that's how you get out of hell.
Yeah, you learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch the show Preacher?
If you're talking about what I think you are, I read the comics that it's based on.
Yeah,
back
the
in
AMC, the AMC special based on those comics about the Texas preacher
Yeah.
that becomes God, or gets at least acquires the power of God.
Right. And hangs out with a vampire.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a dude named Arseface.
Yeah.
Was that on the show?
Yeah, that was on the show. He was a
Okay.
big character.
Yeah.
And
Those are good comics.
yeah, I wonder how they ended.
I don't know. I don't think I read to the end. I didn't.
Because the show ended.
Mm-hmm.
The show wrapped up.
Yeah.
And it was all right. It fell off in the end. Like, because when it was airing, I stopped watching, and then I think it's all on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
So I watched it all, and wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. But yeah, hell was a unique place in that show, and I rather liked it. Like, it was pretty funny because guess who was there in hell?
Me.
Oh no, not yet at least.
Not yet.
But Hitler was a main character in hell,
Interesting.
and he was like a little bitch. And he escapes hell, and hilarity ensues.
Hitler escapes hell, hilarity ensues.
Yeah,
I like that.
because he was like trying to do good, but he just can't help being an evil piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was helping somebody else escape hell, but like once he got out of hell, he couldn't help being Hitler.
Right.
And tried to be Hitler, and got sent straight back, if I recall correctly.
That's great. It reminds me of that Found a Peanut song. You know that song?
I am not aware of the Found a Peanut song.
You're not. No. Found a peanut, found a peanut, found a... You don't know that song?
I know the tune.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to sing it for you on here.
Yeah, okay.
It's a long song.
Okay.
But it's like, okay, it goes, found a peanut, cracked it open, like the different verses. Third verse, found it rotten, ate it anyway, called the doctor, died anyway, went to heaven, kicked an angel, went to hell, kicked the devil, back to earth, found a peanut.
Because isn't that to the tune of Oh My Darling? Isn't that what you were doing?
Oh, hey, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh My Darling, Clementine.
Yeah. You were gone and lost forever.
Because I was like, wait, are there lyrics to that song that I wasn't aware of involving a peanut?
That's how Clementine died.
Yeah.
She found a peanut.
Apparently she was allergic.
She ate a rotten peanut.
Oh, dude, rotten peanuts are the worst. You're just sitting there at the baseball game, having a good time, eating peanuts, and then you eat the rat poop peanut.
So I've never had that experience.
Yeah, you'll just be shelling them and delling them. I don't know.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
But it rhymes, so.
I need to go to a baseball game.
Mm-hmm. I need to go to one and get a blue Texas Rangers hat. Because mine's red. And I had to stop wearing it.
Yeah.
Red hat with a T
I've got a
on
black
it.
one.
Oh, nice.
I found it at a thrift store for like $5.
Black would be good too.
Yeah, it's black on
Black would
black.
be
Like the tee is black.
Oh,
The hat's
interesting.
black. Suits my aesthetic very, very nicely. I wear it when I'm trying to be low profile.
Oh, okay.
You know,
When you're spying on folks.
Yeah. when I'm running errands and I don't want my fans to notice me.
Right, right.
Hey man, walk around like you have fans you don't want to notice you. That's the type of confidence you need to be walking around with.
I agree.
Yeah. Walk around like you're trying to avoid secret admirers.
BFE, big fan energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. Did you just smell watermelon?
Yeah, I farted.
Oh, good job.
No.
I just caught a whiff of watermelon. I don't know where it came from. Is that what you wash your hair with?
It kind of smells like watermelon, but it's not. It's like tea leaves.
Huh.
Oh, well, actually, this is watermelon.
Oh, okay. That's where I caught the whiff of watermelon from.
Yeah, this is watermelon.
Like, I
Took
don't
me a
know. What
second.
could it have been? Could it have been the watermelon?
It could have been
thing
the watermelon flavored vape juice. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, thank God. I was starting to think I was crazy again.
Yeah.
Well, I constantly think that. Imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Me and my imaginary friend can't sleep. Only I don't know which of us is the imaginary
I
friend.
never sleep.
This is literally the plot of the novel I'm working on, where two characters don't know which one of them is being imagined.
That's similar to Mr. Robot.
I haven't seen that.
I've got season 1 and 2 on DVD.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe on Blu-ray too. I don't know.
Okay.
I know I have season 1 and 2 right over there in my room.
Perhaps.
I never
I
finished
would
it
be able to
either.
check it out. Oh, really?
I finished season 3, I believe, and season 4 was the final season. And it was good up to what I watched. I just sort of like stopped watching cable, and their on demand was weird, so I gave up.
Got it. That's a weird phenomenon. It's like watching a show that's really good and you really like it, and then you just stop.
You just stop, yeah.
It's not because you got tired of it necessarily. It's like, this one show was so good, and I was trying to tell everybody to watch it. I can't remember what it was called. I want to say it was something like Black Orchid, or it was about clones. And this one woman played all of these people who are actually genetic duplicates of each other, and they're living different lives all over the world, and they don't know that any of them exist, or that they're, and they just start piecing things together, and some of them cross paths, and I loved that show.
This is an interesting concept.
Yeah, and that actress was just amazing to play all those very different characters. And I wondered if she got paid, like, for every character.
Yeah.
A whole salary.
It depends on the amount of scenes. Because if she was the main character, then if you're the main character in any sort of flick, you know, you're gonna get paid main character money.
Yeah, but it was like an ensemble cast, but she played them all.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge for an actress.
Yeah. What was that thing called?
Black Orchid sounds familiar.
It does, but I feel like that can't be what it was. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
People watching this might know what it was.
Yeah, leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment, if you will. It makes me feel famous. I got a nice positive comment the other day telling me I should ask for money.
It's a weird comment.
Yeah, but I mean,
like in what means?
Like that I should do a Patreon or have a tip jar.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's a good idea. I don't know at what point that's like
acceptable.
Yeah, because I have 22 subscribers at this point.
Hey.
Which is up. It keeps going up.
Your sugar daddy might be one of them.
My sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's obsessed with me and wants to give me money. Heck yeah. Like, one of my 22 subscribers could be rolling in dough and completely obsessed with me.
That'd be nice. I wish somebody was rolling in dough and obsessed with me.
Well, you gotta show them your feet.
Yeah, no, I will not.
Here's a foot video for.
Yeah, I gotta keep those on lockdown just in case.
Well, I didn't show my left foot.
That's true. Subscribe for more.
Yeah.
Want to see the whole package?
Both feet at once.
Yeah. My feet are freshly washed right now.
They do look clean.
Yeah, they're nice and clean.
Yeah. Like, I could eat spaghetti off of those feet.
Don't eat spaghetti off your
Whatever
feet.
that means. I mean, if you're asleep, you don't need to know.
Yeah. It'd be a weird sensation to wake up somebody eating spaghetti off the feet.
Me. Like, I'm just happy because you're in what was my writing room and I'm a sleepwalker at times and I
Well, that's why I locked the door.
comfortably. Yeah. Okay, good. Because, like, I have this fear every night that I'm going to get up asleep and go in there naked and start typing on your face.
Yeah, don't
Like,
type on my face
Through
naked.
the keyboard. And that would be a weird thing to wake up to.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah, top 10 for sure.
I mean, what else would be in that top 10? Like, how close to number 1 would I be?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Okay.
I'd have to do an inventory on my top 10 things weird to wake up to.
I don't have an inventory of such things.
I don't either. I'd have to compile one.
I see.
But that one would definitely be in there.
Okay.
Waking up to naked roommate typing on your face.
While asleep.
Yeah, while asleep. Like, what do I do? Do I wake him? Do I go get him a keyboard?
Right.
Or some clothes?
Try to find out what he's trying to type.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Give a sleep typer keyboard and actually figure out what they're typing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably mostly be gibberish.
Yeah, like my sister got mad at me years ago. I think I've told you this story,
You
but
sleep
I haven't
text
told.
her?
Yeah, and she was like spilling her guts, like some like boy drama.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I remember talking about this.
Yeah, and like, so I'm not responding, but I'm clearly online. Like the indicator is there that I'm there, just ignoring her. Indicator that I've read her messages. Then she got mad because I was just ignoring her while she's like pouring her heart out. And I finally replied, box, like Rocky. The next day, it comes to light that I was sleep typing. I wasn't ignoring. And people have gotten mad at me for ignoring them when I'm online. I'm asleep. Sometimes I get online when I'm asleep.
Yeah, when I had that crazy get together with my two friends last weekend and blacked out for the first time and was slowly picking up the pieces the next morning, I did discover another one later on in the week where I went to go make a note in my phone and the note that was like already open was like a new note at like 4:57 a.m. where I don't remember making a note, and it was something stupid that made no sense.
Oh, you made the note?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You need to tell the rest of that story too, because it's quite entertaining.
Yeah, all I wrote was chases Ben, and then 4 foot 5 inches 5 foot.
Chases Ben.
And Ben spelled like the name Benjamin.
Chases Ben, 4 foot.
That was the title of the note, and then 4 foot 5 inches,
What?
and then 5
Hey
feet.
guys.
Like that's all I wrote.
Huh.
And it was at 3:51 a.m. And I recall none of the context of
Did
what.
You measure something?
I
So
don't know what I would
weird.
have measured that would have been 4 foot 5 inches and then 5 feet. Like, were we going over like how tall he was at certain points in his life? Like,
Yeah, because he's definitely taller than that.
I have
think.
no freaking clue what any of that means. I don't know if BEN is a typo, and what that could be a typo for. And like I tried looking at the keyboard and coming up with something that could be around those letters that makes more sense than the nickname for Benjamin.
Yeah.
And no, beats me, man. Just another piece of the puzzle of what happened that night that I'm just completely unaware of.
Tell YouTube people about the rest of it, though.
Oh, well, I apparently...
The first stuff you discovered.
Yeah, no, I went to bed. I had a good night with my friends. I drank a lot, but then it was time to go to bed. I didn't drive anywhere. I was a good, conscientious drinker that night, and I go to bed, and I wake up. I went to bed around, I think I went to bed around 4 a.m. That note was at 3:51, so either I blacked out before I thought I went to bed, or because I remember going to bed after trying to eat a hash brown, and then just couldn't do it and just went to sleep, fully clothed, shorts and t-shirt, and I wake up the next morning, text some people back, overall just sort of coming to, and just sort of waking up, and then I get up to go use the restroom and realize that I am now just in my boxers. Don't remember taking off my clothes. And on my way to the restroom, I realized that I'm in different boxers than I was wearing when I had gone to sleep. And so now I'm like, I make it to my restroom, and then there are my shorts on the ground. There is my sopping wet t-shirt in the shower. And there is my sopping wet underwear over the shower door along. And then I realized that I didn't even realize this as I was making my way to the restroom, but I took off like a towel from around my neck that I was apparently sleeping with. And I was like, I definitely had a towel in the bed. That was kind of damp. I felt my hair, and all of the product that was in my hair the day before had been washed out. I'm like, I must have taken a shower last night. For some reason, after I had closed my eyes and gone to sleep. What else did I do? Because I remembered none of this. And I must have taken off my shorts, and that's as far as I made it, as far as getting undressed to get in the shower.
Your sleeping mind just thought you were done. You undressed, I took one thing off.
I took one thing off,
naked.
Shower time.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I must have because my shirt was in there sopping, my underwear was sopping, so I must have gotten in the shower and be like, I must gotta pick off my shirt. And then I apparently got out of the shower and made it across my room into my underwear drawer, got out a fresh pair of boxers, wrapped the towel around. I don't think I used shampoo or conditioner. I must have literally just got my head wet and got out of there. Like, I think I rinsed out all of the product in my hair, like some holding serum that was in there for sure. And it was gone because my hair was all soft. And then there were my contacts case, which I had taken out my contacts while I was still conscious the night before. And I had set them in the place where I keep my contacts in my bathroom. They were, for some reason, on my nightstand, still in the case, and luckily. It's my last pair of contacts, and they were in the case and just on my nightstand for some reason. And Chase theorizes that I must have sat there and tried to take out my contacts even though they were already out, which frightens me.
Yeah. You could have taken out your eyeball.
Yeah. I wake up with my eyeballs dangling. That'd be nice. Yeah, so apparently, there's an extent to how much you can be a conscientious drinker. Because apparently, even if you take every precaution, you can still go to bed and wake up and have done stuff. Because judging by the fact of how dry my hair was when I woke up, and the time I went to bed, and I woke up at 9:30. Saturdays, can't sleep in. For whatever reason, I just wake up at a decent time.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. And which is often followed by a nap, but still. Judging by the fact that I went to bed at 4 and woke up at 9:30, my hair was dry, I must have gotten right up. I must have closed my eyes, and gotten right up to get in that shower.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah.
So
Further experimentation required.
right. We'll have to get you blackout drunk again and set up a camera.
No, I just need a babysitter. Yeah.
Yeah, just someone. I'll be there with a clipboard and a pen. Like, the subject
Yes.
is taking off his pants.
Oh, here we
Appears
go.
to think he's naked.
Yeah, a friend of
It's
mine
like-
once got blackout drunk and got naked and rode his bike around the neighborhood.
That's terrible.
It was hilarious. Because
Like-
there were some conspirators that urged him to do so.
While he was asleep.
No, he wasn't asleep. But
Oh, blackout
he
drunk.
Don't, yeah, he don't
That's
remember
right.
it though.
He doesn't remember. Okay.
But everybody else did.
That's great.
3 a.m. riding around a bicycle butt naked. You know who you are.
I'm curious.
You know, I'll tell the rest of that story later.
Alright, I look
So I don't
forward
name
to it.
drop.
Right, understood. So, like, if we both did stuff in our sleep, like if you got blackout drunk and went to bed, and if I just was sleepwalking, like, I'd get up naked and go type on your bed, but you'd get up fully clothed and go take a shower.
And apparently make notes of
And
different
make
measurements
strange
of
notes.
people's heights.
You might have been abducted by aliens.
Dude, don't bring me back to aliens.
Okay, or possessed, like Paranormal Activity. That's the other
dude,
thing.
sometimes I think I am being abducted.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like, you know how,
You know how when the lights come into your window and you start floating above your bed?
yeah, you're pretty close to the truth right
What?
there.
Okay, story time.
Well, like, there have been several times where I have gone to sleep and, like, I sleep with a pitch black room. I don't have a single light on. You open your eyes and you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And there have been several times where I've gone to bed and I'll close my eyes, and as I'm falling asleep or trying to sleep, there will be, like, you know how you can see light behind your eyelids?
Mm-hmm.
And there will be, like, a bright light
Oh.
in my face. And, like, behind my eyelids while I'm trying to sleep. And I'll manage to get to sleep, but every time I open my eyes, it goes away. Then I shut my eyes, and bright light just slowly comes back into my eyes.
Interesting.
And I'm trying to sleep, and I don't know, it freaks me out. I've heard weird sounds outside my bedroom, and yeah, so hopefully they don't find me here. You know, I won't update my address on Google or anything.
I mean, jeez.
Yeah. They have, I mean, as far as I know, they haven't fucked with me too much. So,
Right.
you
As
know,
far as you know.
as far as I know, you know.
We should watch The Fourth Kind.
No, yeah, let's fucking not. Because I'm already thinking about it. They should make a fourth kind too, honestly.
Yeah.
The fifth kind.
The Fifth Kind. I don't know. That would be cool. That would be another thing, like, I'm your babysitter when you're blackout drunk and passed out and up doing things. Subject appears to be getting
Ascending.
abducted by
Yeah.
aliens. And I just take notes as you float out the window.
Dude.
And then the measuring tape follows you.
Yeah, I gotta go measure shit.
You were measuring the aliens, 4
Yeah.
foot whatever.
Yeah. Maybe Chase's Ben is like, was like Chase has an alien friend named Ben.
Right.
And maybe he's 4 foot 5 inches tall and his spaceship is 5 feet wide.
Wow, now your story's gotten freaky.
Yeah.
I'm a little freaked out.
Maybe Chase is being piloted by an alien named Ben.
Yeah, that could be the case. Or a mouse.
Yeah.
A super
I could see
intelligent mouse.
Chase being like an android piloted by like a little mouse.
A malfunctioning one.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
mouse. Yeah.
I could see that, too. It would make so much sense.
Yeah.
Like when he tells stories.
Yeah,
And someone controlling him
Yeah.
there.
his strange greetings
Yeah.
that shan't be repeated on camera. Yeah, his signs of affection.
Yup.
You know what we're talking. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. It's true. Who knows? Chase may be up with us one night doing a video.
You're gonna have to bleep some things.
Except I never do.
You probably should if he gets on here.
If he gets on, I should just
I
cut him
bleep
out.
you.
Yeah.
And you could overdub it. I love you.
Yeah.
Instead of what he actually says.
Mm.
That would be fun to do. Just do an overdubbing of Chase's sayings.
Yeah.
Like a rated R movie on a cable channel.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, instead of you jackass, it's like, you
gosh.
jackfruit.
Oh, I hate that.
I think they're hilarious.
It's funny, but it's insulting. Like, why?
Like watching Pulp Fiction on on like a cable channel is just hilarious because of all of the overdubbing.
Jeez. And they say such ridiculous things in place of the words. Sometimes they don't even fit. But it reminds me of, like, when I was a little kid and my mom got road rage. It was the first time I ever saw her get road rage. And instead of, like, spewing profanities, it was like one of those things. She was like, "You son of a biscuit eater twerp!"
Twerp.
Yeah, you son of a biscuit eater twerp.
That's great. I love it when people, like, who don't swear, like, swear without swearing.
Yes.
It's always comical. I remember, like, swearing for the first time, like, realizing
Really?
that it's okay. Or, like, I remember the time in my life where I was just like, you know, nobody's effing watching, so I'm just gonna say fuck instead of F. Like, like nobody cares. Like, you just reach a point where your parents stop caring. Well, at least mine are pretty chill about it. And, you know, where, like, they weren't gonna wash my mouth out with soap or anything.
My mom actually did that to me.
Yeah, my parents did not. I just started saying it, and they were just like, "You're fucking right." And I was just like, all right, I guess we're on to it now.
Yeah.
But when you're that young, I don't know if you went through this phase, but you swear way too much. like every other word out of your mouth is profanity. Yeah, like you're just
Because it can be.
because it can be, so you just overuse it.
No, see, when I was a little kid, my parents had no tolerance for that stuff. Like, I said hell once in a swimming pool, and my dad was like, "What did you say?"
And start drowning you.
Oh, because I said, "What the hell?" Then, yeah. And my mother would literally wash my mouth out with soap.
Ugh.
It was fun.
Was it good soap?
No, it was nasty.
Was it used soap?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh my god, that's even worse. I
never thought about that aspect of it, but you got it right off the stink.
Jesus, I'd rather have her crack open a fresh bar. At least that hasn't been in somebody's twat.
Right? I mean, it was in the kitchen, so hopefully it hadn't been.
Hopefully not, yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, like in A Christmas Story.
Oh, yeah.
Where
He went blind.
Yeah.
Or no, that was...
Well, you'll shoot your eye out. That's from A Christmas Story.
But so was, like, didn't he have that fantasy where he went blind and he was like, it was soap poisoning.
No, that's not that.
What was that?
I have no idea. All I know is that he was helping his dad fix a tire. And he was holding, like, all the bolts.
Yeah,
And he drops them and he's like, fudge! fudge, but he did not say fudge, which was what the narrator said.
Yes.
Which is, I guess, him in the future. He's
No,
like,
see,
I did not say fudge. And
that
then,
was my parents.
Yeah. And his dad was like, what did you just say? And, so they went, he's like, we didn't speak a word after that. And then when we got home, apparently his parents, like, talked. And his mom wanted to know where he learned that word. And he confessed to hearing it from one of his friends. And she goes over there calmly to just let the other mom know
that would have been my mom.
That, hey, my son apparently learned a word from your son, and I just want you to go have a talk with your son. And the mom on the other end starts like screaming at her kid,
right,
and then like beating him. Because while our main character is sitting there with a bar of soap in his mouth. And the other kid is like screaming bloody murder, but he's getting the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, different times, man.
Seriously.
Different times.
That movie's freaking hilarious, though.
We watch it every Christmas.
See, I haven't watched it in years because they did that thing where they ran it 24 hours.
They still do.
Okay, I've seen this movie, but now that we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, I think it's been long enough.
And no, it's a running gag for the Paul family Christmas, where we just, when we're opening presents, from the moment we go out there, we just turn on the TV, turn on A Christmas Story, and then it's just parents had just woken up from going to sleep at like 5 a.m. because I started the trend when I was a kid of getting up at like 6 a.m. because I couldn't wait to open up all my presents. And now I'm 27 and my 19-year-old sister still keeps up the frickin' tradition. And so now I'm also up until like 4:30, 5 in the morning. And sister continues the trend. I'm like, can we let that die? Can we please like sleep until like 10 or something?
Right.
And I'm like, Shine, you gotta feel for our parents too. They just went to sleep. Oh no, she let us sleep till like 8 this year.
Well, that was generous.
Yeah, very generous. And yep, Christmas Story on, and then everybody opens up the little presents. We take pictures. We drink coffee. We talk. We have a good time. And everybody just goes back to sleep. And then you wake up at 2 in the afternoon, and Christmas Story is still playing. It's at a different part.
Right.
But it's already played through once. My mom hates it. She hates that we keep doing that every year. It's like, can we please watch something else? I'm just like, no, it's tradition.
See, that's where I'm at, or where I was at. It's just, no, it's too much of a good thing.
I used to think that movie was just like a biopic of my dad.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know where that movie takes place. Isn't it like,
I don't know where either.
Ohio or something?
I don't know. Because
wherever it is, it snows and ices in winter.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad's from Maine. That's a different way of life up there, man.
No doubt.
I couldn't do it.
I've never been to Maine yet.
I'm a Texas boy. Through and through. 85 degrees feels pretty good to me.
Yeah, 85 degrees is cool. Remember when we went to Indiana and it was like 80 degrees?
The sexiest weather.
Yeah, it was. We were like blissed out in this weather.
It was like the end of July, and we were leaving like 100-degree heat in Texas.
Over 100. Like, we just spent a week at summer camp where it was like 110. We're outside playing volleyball and
I'm like brown and burnt, and we're going up there and
80 degrees, God. And they're like the people in charge of the event we were at were like, everyone, you need to take this heat very seriously. Yeah. We've got sprinkler or misters on the sidewalks.
Now remember, there aren't air conditioners in your rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there aren't ACs. And I'm just like, how do y'all live up here without AC?
Right.
I just step outside the bus. Oh, this is how you live up here without AC.
Right. Yeah, so the Texas crew, we were just like, what is their problem?
Yeah, this feels great.
They're scared of this weather.
This is like a December day in Texas.
Right, it's like Christmas. Christmas in Texas.
That trip was
and y'all
so
are
great.
scared you're going to have a heat stroke. Yeah, it was.
One of my fondest memories of that trip was we had just eaten lunch in the cafeteria, and we were waiting for like everybody to like arrive at the designated meeting point outside one of the buildings.
Yeah.
And so me and a few other youth are like waiting for the rest to gather. And the thing about Indiana, Purdue is where we were.
Right.
And the chipmunks everywhere. Chipmunks everywhere. And I just remember like there was one like in the green near the because we were waiting on a like a bench section off of a walk path. And we were under a tree and we just see this little chipmunk in the green, and then a hawk just swoops in and snags that little sumbitch and then perches up on the tree we're sitting under and proceeds to like peck out its insides, and there's just chipmunk blood running down the bark of the tree, and it's just like squealing for its life until it gets snuffed out. And you know all the girls are
nature
and like crying, and I'm just like I wish I had a fucking camera right now. I would call Nat Geo right now.
Yeah.
I'd get a job real quick. Because it was, oh damn nature, you scary. Like, oh, that was such a great experience. Like that was one of the highlights of that trip was
watching a chipmunk get murdered.
Brutally murdered. Like that hawk had its talons in the chipmunk and was like not killing it immediately.
Oh, that's
was just like looking around to let everybody know that I live here, and then started like disemboweling it before like finishing it off.
Wow.
I was like, God, I hate to be that chipmunk.
Yeah.
I've had a few run-ins with chipmunks over my lifetime.
That's a strange prelude to I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, another time I was in Colorado for a summer camp. Chipmunks everywhere. And you had to like keep your food safe and all that because the chipmunks would get it. And it was like the last day, and you know we were staying in these like military type of tents where there's a pallet down and a green canvas over the tent or over the pallet. You put your cot up in there and you had your Contico chest with all your stuff in it. Well, you know, we packed up and we got back on the bus and headed home. And, you know, there was nothing of real importance in my Contico, some clothes and, all sorts of, other things, but, so I didn't really think much of it. I got home, threw my Contico in the garage, and went back to being a lazy piece of crap for the rest of the summer. Because that's what you do when you're a 14-year-old boy.
Right.
And
true story.
Then eventually it was time to do another camp out, and I went to go to my Contico. 2 dead chipmunks in my Contico chest. Just like rotting. They got in there, and I never opened my Contico since I got back. And so they.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I was like, oh, y'all met with some unfortunate ends.
Yeesh.
But it's y'all's fault. Like, I didn't leave my Contico open for long when I was packing up, but y'all must have hopped up in there and I must have shut the gate on y'all. Didn't think to check for frickin' chipmunks.
Jeez. It's like asking an atheist, why don't you believe in God, atheist? Chipmunks, meh.
Chipmunks.
I've seen a lot of things happen to some chipmunks. There can be no God.
If there was a God,
he's
then
a monster.
He wouldn't have made chipmunks so fucking stupid.
Right. It's like, but they're not as stupid as June bugs. I saw a June
Oh
bug
my
on the
God.
porch the other night, and I'm like, oh, it's the season of really dumb bugs. Like, I don't even know how they continue to propagate. Like, how do June bugs continue to exist? They're
Well,
so
you know
stupid.
why they exist.
They just fall and spin around on their backs and
They're food. They're nothing but food.
right. But how do they live long enough to reproduce? They are so
Good point.
stupid.
Well, that's another thing
That's
that will
what I
keep me
don't
up tonight.
understand.
I will look up the life cycle of a June bug.
Please do, and tell me all about it.
Do they start from larvae?
I imagine most insects,
Most insects do.
If not all insects, I don't know.
And where are the larvae? Because all I ever see is June bugs.
Yeah, and they don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah,
The June bugs are the most inept creatures on
they
the planet.
really are. I haven't seen more stupid creatures than June bugs. And I've seen a lot of humans.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, I was trying to think, what have I seen that's dumber than a June bug? Only people came to mind, but they still weren't dumber than June bugs.
I don't know. I've seen some Trump supporters before.
I was about to say, maybe our last president was a June bug.
Yeah,
a giant June
in
bug.
in disguise. He's being piloted by a team of June bugs.
Yeah. He dies, they do an autopsy.
need more
All
lights.
these
I
June
love
bugs,
lights.
please. Yes.
Get rid of all the screen doors.
He's staring up at an eclipse because he's
He's a June bug.
June bug.
Conspiracy confirmed. President Trump is a June bug. He's like, the forbidden light.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe that's a good note. Good note to wrap up on.
President Trump confirmed June bug.
Yup, that explains everything.
Putin's probably a June bug too, and that's why they were homies.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I'm gonna have to look into this and find more evidence and write a novel about it.
We gotta get on like 4chan and create a conspiracy.
Yes. The new and it's it makes sense. Makes more sense than Hollow Earth, really.
It honestly does.
Yeah. So if you can believe in that, flat Earth, Hollow Earth, whatever, you gotta believe he was a June bug, and still is to this day.
To this day.
Oh well. All right. Well, I'm gonna at least say I'm going to bed, and hopefully actually do it. It's almost 1. 1's my hard cutoff.
That's a lie. You literally started this off by saying that's
I
a
know.
lie.
It was a reference to how I started this video. So yeah. So if you like watching me sit up and ramble at night, sometimes with roommate, hit subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, thanks for sitting up with us.
Arigato.
Good night.